Chapter 2171. Four Venerables Repair the World. The lightning giant attacked. Each action carried unparalleled lights. Countless chains swayed and targeted thieving heaven demon venerable as they sealed and slashed. The damage caused by the two venerables continued to spread out. The entire void was shaking intensely. It seemed to be unable to sustain the pressure point one by one. Small worlds were implicated. They were rapidly destroyed and unable to last a few breaths of time. Within the lightning giant, thieving heaven demon venerables, expression became increasingly twisted. Blood surged in his eyes as his aura became more vicious and wild. "Take this move," thieving heaven shouted as the lightning giant's mountain-like body stopped on the spot. The surface of its body started to transform rapidly. With the crisp sound of clanking metal, cannons started to extend out of its body in all directions. Boom! Thousands of cannons fired at once. Countless rays of light pierced the void. A rainbow color of red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and others dazzled the entire heaven and earth. As light rays shot out and crossed a vast distance. They destroyed everything in their path. Many chains that limitless demon venerables will controlled were easily decimated. This move actually comprises metal, wood, water, fire, earth, and other paths. Each color of the cannons represent a different path. Oh no! Limitless demon venerables was shaken. The defensive line that he had established was penetrated, exposing the two great worlds that he was protecting. One world had rampaging wild beasts. The other was covered in lush greenery. They were Savage Wilderness Great World and Green Lotus Great World. Most of the cannons were blocked successfully, but 100 of them still shot towards the two great worlds mercilessly. What? These two worlds contain life. Thieving heaven demon venerable was internally shocked. He could see clearly. His twisted expression froze on his face. Clarity returned to his eyes that had turned blood red. Earlier, when he explored the void, he saw that the small worlds were devoid of life. They were deathly silent. Thus, he did not care about the destruction of these small worlds. But Savage Wilderness Great World and Green Lotus Great World contained living beings. Thieving heaven demon venerable did not want to be a mass murderer. Thieving heaven demon venerable gritted his teeth. He used all his strength to control the lightning giant and turn the cannon in another direction. All of the cannons narrowly avoided the two great worlds. Guh! Thieving heaven demon venerable spat out a mouthful of blood, by forcefully changing his attack direction. He had to endure the backlash of the killer move. The lightning giant that had been powerful and unstoppable was no longer shining. It dimmed by a lot. The battle of the two venerables came to a halt at this moment. Thieving heaven demon venerable breathed roughly, while limitless demon venerables was protected by countless chains. He fell into deep thought. At the crucial moment, he saw the former's true nature. "I can open the pathway and let you enter to take a look." A moment later, limitless demon venerables said, "What?" Thieving heaven demon venerable was surprised, but he immediately understood the reason. Blood traces were still lingering on thieving heaven demon venerable's lips. With his relatively severe injuries, he could not heal them in the short period. He chuckled. "Then what are we waiting for?" Limitless demon venerables opened a path as he led thieving heaven demon venerable into the 9th layer of crazed demon cave. Thieving heaven demon venerable first saw a large mountain that was black and white in color. This is the book mountain recorded in The Legends of Rin Zhu. Thieving heaven demon venerable dispelled his lightning giant killer move. He expressed his surprise that Limitless smiled. Book Mountain is one of the cores. With it, this crazed demon 9th void formation can continue to grow. Each time a new genius goo cultivator appears in the world, they would help with the progress of their respective path. Book Mountain will absorb the new knowledge and develop the crazed demon 9th void formation to continuously improve and develop. Initially, the 8th layer's void was very small. There were no worlds at all. But afterwards, as Rule Path, Phantom Path, and Refinement Path developed in the 5 regions, this place also continued to expand and grow. Small worlds first appeared, before they quickly increased in number. Reckless Savage Demon Venerable left behind Savage Wilderness Great World. Genesis Lotus Immortal Venerable created his Green Lotus Dao Field. greatly promoting the growth of the crazed demon ninth void formation. In time, living beings will be created and destroyed alongside the small worlds, no longer limited to the current two great worlds. Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable went deeper. He started to see blocks of floating ice. They had various sizes and all sorts of strange shapes. This is the truthful floating ice? No wonder I did not find them when exploring the river of time. So it was you who found and kept them here. Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable realized. And finally, he arrived at the deepest part of Crazed Demon Cave. Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable showed a downcast expression. He felt very disappointed. Space Door is not here after all. Limitless will did not lie to him. Limitless will said. Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable, if you do not believe me, you can continue to look. Space Door is not here. How can I find Space Door? That is my only hope of returning home. Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable inquired. Limitless will shook his head. If I knew about it, why would I need to fight you earlier? Oh, Thieving Heaven, please go back. What you seek is not here. Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable was in a daze. He did not speak for some time. No. Maybe. This is what I am looking for. Suddenly, Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable emitted a peculiar laugh. His expression was twisted. His eyes were blood red. His tone and mannerism of speech had changed completely. His voice was hoarse as if this was another person speaking. Oh no. Limitless will had a change of expression too. The thing he was worried about the most had still happened in the end. Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable continued to speak in a hoarse voice. If I am not wrong, this is the place where the world boundary of the goo cultivation world is at its thinnest. O Limitless Demon Venerable, your crazed demon ninth void formation is using this place to pierce through the world boundary and bring those things that are beyond the world to act as the raw materials. That is how the eighth layer developed these great and small worlds, right? Say, if I were to break this boundary and leave the goo cultivation world entirely, will I be able to find a way back? Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable said that as his eyes widened, the aura of excitement and insanity grew more intensely on his body. Limitless will replied solemnly. Impossible. You are a goo venerable yourself. Do you not know the power of those things beyond the world? You have already experienced their strength, haven't you? How long do you think you can last outside? The venerable is the strongest person in the world, but even if you can last a long time, you will reach your limit eventually. Can you be sure that you will coincidentally find your original world before you reach your limit? You need to know, you are not the only otherworldly demon. The worlds outside of the goo cultivation world are more than just your original world. But, Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable raised his hands as he shouted, but do you know? Do you know how much I want to return? Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable then lowered his head, his fingers stabbing into his hair as his eyes were hollow. He muttered, do you know how tough it has been for me? When I was a mortal, I told myself that if I became a goo master, I will be able to find a way home. When I became a goo master, I told myself that after becoming a goo immortal, I will be able to find a way home. After becoming a goo immortal, I consoled myself again. If I become venerable, I will be able to go home. But now, I am already a venerable. And yet, I cannot find Space Door. Where is Space Door? Even if I find Space Door, can it really let me return home? Goo venerables are the strongest. There is no road ahead of me anymore. Sometimes, I will dream of Space Door. I dreamed that I found Space Door, but realized it was completely useless. Whenever I wake up from such a nightmare, I will be covered in cold sweat. I admit that I am afraid. I am afraid that I cannot find Space Door. I am afraid that the truth behind it will send me into utter despair. Can you understand my feelings? Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable's breathing became rougher. He looked at the deepest part of Crazed Demon Cave, the thinnest part of the world boundary. He suddenly laughed. His eyes lit up as he said in a hoarse voice, so let me take a risk now. I will pierce this world. Stop it. Limitless will shouted. He was already prepared. He used his full strength to stop him. Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable was instantly trapped by the surrounding chains. But at the next moment, another Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable appeared in front of him. He raised his arms high and slammed down fiercely. Boom! With a loud sound, the world boundary was broken. The most terrifying tribulation in the world descended. Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable went out of the broken hole immediately, but Limitless will no longer had the time to pursue him. He tried his best to seal the broken boundary, but terrifying tribulations were spewing out of the hole. Limitless chains could not resist them. They could not even get close. After a few breaths of time, the hole expanded to twice of its original size. The situation is critical. If we do not mend this hole now, the entire world will be destroyed. Please lend me a hand. Limitless will shouted loudly. Reckless savages will flew out of savage wilderness great world, bringing with him countless fierce beasts. Genesis Lotus will flew out of green lotus great world, bringing along countless trees and grasses. The power of three venerables could only maintain the situation. They could not fix this hole. The hole did not expand, but the three venerables were already dead. Just the power left behind by their main body could not salvage the situation. As the three venerables' power weakened, their expressions turned unsightly. To think that the world is going to be destroyed. Genesis Lotus will smile bitterly. Limitless will sighed. I should not have taken the risk to let him in. No, reckless savages will said grimly. In that situation, even if all three of us took action, we could not stop Thieving Heaven. After all, we cannot take his life. Even if we force him away several times, he can still come back and challenge us until our strength is depleted. This is all my fault. Limitless, release me. I can help you. Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable said regretfully. 1 Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable had left through the broken boundary, while another Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable was still trapped by Limitless Demon Venerable's chains. You? Genesis Lotus was surprised. Who is the one who left earlier? Reckless savages will asked. That is Sha Shao. Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable smiled bitterly. He is my Tao guardian. He is also. The situation was urgent. Limitless will interrupted him, asking, what plan do you have? Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable said, do you know why Fate Gu's control over otherworldly demons is limited? That is because every otherworldly demon who comes into this world will carry their original world's insignia. Those are otherworldly Tao marks. Next, I will use the otherworldly space path Tao marks on my body to create a subspace and block this hole. Using the opportunity, I want you all to use your full strength and quickly mend it. Without hesitation, Limitless will retract his chains. Go ahead. Chapter 2172, Demonization. Crazed Demon Cave, 8th layer. Large and small worlds were rapidly fusing together. All sorts of calamities and tribulations were rampaging in the worlds. The fighting between Gu immortals was also extremely heated. Weaklings would lose their lives from the shockwaves of clashes between experts. Strong individuals were also unable to defend themselves in this huge chaotic battle. They were like small boats facing a tsunami. With slight carelessness, they would be overturned and face death. Weak. Too weak. Who else can stop me? Die. Ha ha. Butian Kong continued to provoke its enemies. It charged unhindered. Nobody on the battlefield could stop it. It was favored by the innate luck of Crazed Demon Cave to begin with. Under the effect of endless learning, its attainment level rose sharply. Afterwards, it received Heavenly Court's help and gained immortal Gu and killer moves. Its strength rose explosively. Niequang Feng and Duan, who were also like it. At this moment, the three of them were the strongest Gu immortals shining in this battlefield. Beast, don't think you can act so arrogantly. Fang Yuan's 4 rank 8 subordinates surrounded Rock Monkey Butian Kong. Butian Kong instantly felt pressure as it stretched out its tongue, licking its lips with excitement and cruelty shining in its eyes. Very good. You have nice numbers. Who are you guys? Lightning Lion. Lightning Lion Warrior said as he activated a transformation path killer move, turning into the Lightning Lion Warrior that had a lion head and human body. Remember me? I am Dharma. Dharma Lion Warrior also activated his transformation method, turning into a lion head and human body warrior. Steel Rush. Steel Rush Warrior turned into a rhino person. Frost Butterfly. Frost Butterfly Warrior shrank in size, becoming the size of an adult's fist. It had a human shape with butterfly wings and could let out powerful frost energy. In Gu Immortal Combat, individuals often fought alone. But these 4 Gu Immortals cultivated transformation path. They did not have conflicting Tao marks. Furthermore, they were familiar with each other. They had all originated from Beast Calamity Grotto Heaven. They originally had rank 7 cultivation level, but with Fang Yuan's help, they all became rank 8. Immediately, the four warriors surrounded Butian Kong. They fought intensely. Their battle went on until the sky turned dark. As if they could go on until the sun and moon lost their luster, Butian Kong was encircled and its injuries intensified. But it was getting more ferocious in combat. Fists, legs, head, body, knees, elbows. All of these body parts were Butian Kong's weapons. Fist shadows flashed as collisions occurred. Butian Kong would send one person flying each time. But the four were transformation path experts. Their bodies were tough and sturdy. Even though they were sent flying, they would quickly return and maintain the encirclement, giving Butian Kong huge pressure. The battle of the five went from the sky to the ground, before going back to the sky again. Everywhere they went, other Gu immortals dodged with all their might. Awesome, awesome. Again. Butian Kong got more and more excited. It felt its mind becoming clearer as all sorts of inspiration of killer moves surged internally. The barriers that it felt before were starting to loosen. It was one of the 3 luck children of Crazed Demon Cave's 8th layer. Its talent and aptitude were superb and unmatched. The strong external pressure were an opportunity to squeeze out even more of its potential in this situation. The rock monkey got fiercer and fiercer. It was originally not proficient with Heavenly Court's killer moves, but now, it had already mastered them. It even fused the moves into its own combat style. This rock monkey is terrifying. Even with the 4 of us working together, we cannot kill it. Lightning Lion and the rest were feeling worried. Even though they were still encircling the rock monkey, they felt that they were trying to suppress a volcano. The volcano was storing up strength at the moment, turning external pressure into its own driving force. Once it reached its limit, the volcano would erupt, the commotion would shock the world, it would retaliate with a fatal attack. Quick, kill him. Make use of Master's method. Let the tribulations wear it down. The 4 immortals communicated in secret. Their cooperation also got smoother. All along, Fang Yuan's Heaven Envy's heroic genius's killer move had been exerting its effect. The tribulations were used by him to target Butian Kong, Niequang Feng, and the rest out of course. Most of the tribulations were a form of refinement path method to refine the various small worlds and the conflicting Tao marks between the great worlds, especially with the eruption of tribulations within and outside small worlds. These explosions caused small worlds to be destroyed and completely fuse with the 3 great worlds. During this process, Savage Wilderness Great World had the greatest gains. However, there was a small world that acted independently. It was outstanding among the small worlds. No matter how the tribulations attacked it, it remained unmoved. It was Thieving Heaven's true inheritance space. Ordinary small worlds were spherical bubbles, while Thieving Heaven's true inheritance space was cubic with sharp edges that no matter what the tribulations did, it remained in its original shape. Within Luck Suppression Heavenly Palace, Immortal Zombie Giant Sun's gaze was already on this true inheritance space of Thieving Heaven. Otherworldly demon. He snorted, memories surfacing in his mind as his expression turned unpleasant. Back then, Giant Sun became an immortal venerable. He went into Crazed Demon Cave's 8th layer and learned of the true details regarding the 4 venerables repairing the world. Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable had disregarded the entire Gu cultivation world for his selfish desire. He almost caused the world to be destroyed. Even though he extracted his own otherworldly space path, Tao marks at the crucial moment to seal the gaping hole by creating a subspace. The crack was already created. It could not be mended fully. The other 3 venerable wills gave it their all and paid a huge price. Other than Limitless Will, Genesis Lotus and Reckless Savage's wills had to fall into deep slumber afterwards. Using the opportunity, Giant Sun Immortal Venerable got rid of Reckless Savage's will and took over the control of Savage Wilderness Great World. When Thieving Heaven left behind this true inheritance, other than to seal the hole he made, he had a deeper motive. That was to leave it for the crucial person 300,000 years later, Guyu Fang Yuan. However, I made my move in advance to dismantle a portion of the true inheritance. I obtained the killer move Perfect Pair and Imitation Gu. Thieving Heaven's true inheritance space paid a huge price to block the hole back then. It became flawed and was not intact anymore. Immortal zombie giant Sun thought about the situation. Since Thieving Heaven's true inheritance has appeared, with Fang Yuan's possession of self-luck true inheritance, he can use luck inspection to find out that this is his fortuitous encounter. He will definitely go there, and Heavenly Court will send troops to stop him. The greatest enemy is still Heavenly Court. Heavenly Court had the initiative. They were maintaining their advantage. Immortal zombie giant Sun was a luck path cultivator. He could not match true experts of wisdom path and deductions. Immortal zombie giant Sun decided to watch Fang Yuan's conflict with Heavenly Court and try to reap the gains of their fight. The main thing was to deal a heavy blow to Heavenly Court, Peak of Book Mountain, Fairy Yuxiu, Qin Ding Ling, and the rest were also looking at Thieving Heaven's true inheritance space. Thieving Heaven's space has appeared. Since it could block the hole back then, it would not be destroyed by the tribulations within this void. We need to deal with it quickly. It is becoming our obstruction. Fairy Yuxiu said, Qin Ding Ling suddenly received important information. She quickly said, our informant in Yellow Earth Great World said that Fang Yuan has already gone to Thieving Heaven's true inheritance space. But Longevity Heaven is very quiet. They are not doing anything. Fairy Yuxiu was not surprised. Of course he would go. Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable left behind this true inheritance for him after all. As for Immortal Zombie Giant Sun who is in Luck Suppression Heavenly Palace, he will go there as well. Saying so, Fairy Yuxiu smiled. Qin Dingling. Yes. Qin Dingling replied solemnly. Let's go. We will go find Fang Yuan and Immortal Zombie Giant Sunday. Fairy Yuxiu stood up gradually. Excitement flashed in Qin Dingling's eyes. She said hesitantly, don't we have to mind Limitless Demon Venerable's retaliative method anymore? Don't worry. Thieving Heaven's space is not part of Limitless Demon Venerable's arrangements. He needs us to destroy it or have Fang Yuan inherit it so that it will disappear. This space is an obstruction to Limitless derivation. He will be more than happy to see us destroy it. Fairy Yuxiu answered. Heavenly Court's troops moved out. Divine Emperor City brought Fairy Yuxiu, Qin Dingling, and others along as they departed from Book Mountain at the same time. Demon Judgment Board moved with Fairy Ming Hao and Guyu Fangzheng inside. They also left the front lines. Even though Green Lotus Great World was facing the attack of Longevity Heaven and Fang Yuan, because of Fairy Yuxiu's earlier actions, Heavenly Court had many mutant Gu immortals joining them like Butian, Kong, Niequang Feng, and Duan Hu. These Gu immortals forced Yellow Earth Great World and Savage Wilderness Great World into a disadvantage. Immortal Killer Move, Spiraling Green Leaf Blade, Swoosh Swoosh Swoosh. Countless flying leaves moved like blades as they spiraled towards Niequang Feng from all directions. Niequang Feng laughed wildly, its body moving agilely between the flying leaves, dodging while also directly charging past the blades that it could not avoid that it turned into a tornado at times. The wind blades around it were very sharp and thin. Xiao Hejian gritted his teeth. He watched as Niequang Feng approached rapidly, feeling intense pressure in his mind. He had already fought Niequang Feng for several minutes now. Even though Heaven Envy's heroic geniuses could restrain Niequang Feng, it could not kill him. Niequang Feng had Heavenly Court's help and managed to recover quickly. It was now treating Xiao Hejian as its own prey. Die. Niequang Feng shouted. You fell for it. At the crucial moment, two figures appeared beside Xiao Hejian. One was a mini-man Gu immortal, Green Forest Great Sage. The other was Black Locust, the owner of Giant Locust Grotto Heaven, who was also another wood path cultivator. Xiao Hejian's killer move changed at once as the three immortals cooperated. Their strength grew explosively. Flying leaf blades turned into seeds that were planted on Niequang Feng's body. Countless vines started to grow from them, tying Niequang Feng up tightly. Niequang Feng was a tornado to begin with, but these vines were still capable of binding it, interrupting its immortal essence usage. Thus, Niequang Feng's killer moves could not be sustained for long. The immortal essence flow became unsteady and the power of the moves fell to rock bottom. More and more vines appeared, growing longer and longer. They almost covered Niequang Feng completely, leaving no gaps at all. Don't force me. Niequang Feng struggled, but it was getting weaker. We finally caught this guy? Black Locust was overjoyed. The three-wood path Gu immortals looked at each other, showing expressions of joy. Xiao Hejian was very happy now, because Ice Crystal Immortal Monarch lost to Nie Feng earlier, while he defeated the latter. Comparing the two, it allowed Xiao Hejian to suppress Ice Crystal Immortal Monarch. But at this moment, Nie Feng's aura started to become quite peculiar and strange. The vines had already turned into a huge ball, but Nie Feng's voice could still be heard from within. I am going to demonize. Every time I fall into a desperate predicament, I will demonize. I don't want to undergo demonization, because once I demonize, I will lose my consciousness until I destroy and kill everyone and everything in the world that I am in. But you guys forced me. You forced my hand. Ah. Chapter 2173. Perish with the wind. Ah. Nie Feng shouted loudly. The louder its voice, the stronger its aura. It soon reached a shocking and unprecedented level. Boom! With a loud sound. The vines were torn into countless pieces. Nie Feng regained its freedom. But currently, it was not a deep green tornado. It had turned into a reddish-brown demonic wind. Intense winds blew. It instantly crossed several thousand steps of distance, arriving before Green Forest Great Sage. Green Forest Great Sage had already used his defensive killer move, but after the reddish-brown demonic wind devoured him, his aura quickly weakened before completely dying after a few breaths of time. The demonic wind stopped for a moment. It was like a shark that could smell blood as it charged towards Black Locust, who was nearby. Be careful. Xiao Hejian quickly moved to help, but after a few rounds, the demonic wind still managed to kill Black Locust. The demonic wind finally targeted Xiao Hejian. Xiao Hejian could not match Nie Feng. He had to retreat as he fought. After a few rounds of combat, his tiny face showed a grim expression. His forehead was covered in sweat. The aura of defeat and death was getting denser. Rumble. Lightning tribulations continued to strike, but Nie Feng did not care about them. It was terrifyingly strong. Elsewhere, stop. Lu Weiyin shouted. But Butian Kong's fist still landed, smashing Steel Rush Warrior's skull into mush. Thereafter, Butian Kong growled. Steel Rush Warrior's soul was shattered. Steel Rush Warrior could not be more dead. His headless corpse fell from the sky like a broken rag doll, be it his body or immortal aperture. They were absorbed by the great world as nutrients. Who else? Butian Kong raised its head and roared. It was overflowing with fighting spirit, rivaling the 9 heavens and resounding in the world. At this point, the 4 rank 8 Gu immortals attacking it were all dead. They were mercilessly killed in a horrific manner. Lu Weiyin sighed as he flew towards the rock monkey. The rock monkey stared at him fiercely. Are you the next one? Very good. I will kill you, even if you are Yellow Earth Great World Sage. Lu Weiyin shook his head. I am no sage. Butian Kong, your killing intent is too overbearing. Lu Weiyin had to take action against Butian Kong personally. Butian Kong killed too many Gu immortals. If it was not stopped, the overall situation of this Gu immortal battle would be affected. Boom, boom, boom. Lu Weiyin and Butian Kong exchanged blows. This time, Butian Kong was finally suppressed. Even though it was strong and could kill many rank 8 Gu immortals, it was still not pseudo-venerable level. In contrast, even though Lu Weiyin lacked offense, his defense was firmly in the realm of pseudo-venerable level. Lu Weiyin endured Butian Kong's fierce attacks with much energy to spare. You are not a sage, yet you are so strong already? Good, very good. Come and attack me. Try and kill me. I have not sensed any fatal killing intent against me for some time already. Why are you not attacking? Why do you only defend yourself? Are your attacks so weak and useless? You are too disappointing. The rock monkey continued to shout as it moved rapidly like lightning in the sky. Its attacks were like furious lightning bolts from heaven. Its power was rising endlessly. But Lu Weiyin got distracted, because he heard that Fang Yuan had already left for thieving heaven's true inheritance space at the center. Oh no. Lord Fang Yuan, please stop. Even though that small world might contain thieving heaven's true inheritance, it will be targeted by Heavenly Court and Longevity Heaven together. Heavenly Court has already sent their main troops. There are many immortal Gu houses and Gu immortals. Longevity, heaven has also sent calamity, luck, alter. Now is not the time for a climactic battle. If star constellation immortal venerable attacks paradise Earth's tomb while you are away, what will we do? Lu Weiyin transmitted time and again, but Fang Yuan did not even respond to it. Lu Weiyin gritted his teeth, his expression turning unsightly. No matter how strong Fang Yuan is, he is still just a pseudo-venerable. He is not a true venerable. I need to help him. If star constellation immortal venerable shows up and kills him, who will protect paradise Earth's tomb? Who will stall for the crucial time? While thinking of this, Lu Weiyin's vision suddenly turned dark. The next moment, Rock Monkey Bu Tiankong's fist landed squarely on Lu Weiyin's face. You dare to be distracted? You are looking down on me. You will pay a terrible price. Bu Tiankong shouted. Bu Tiankong flew towards Lu Weiyin as they got closer again. Lu Weiyin was forced to retreat. He quickly used his killer move. It started to rain. Tribulation rain fell on Bu Tiankong's body, greatly slowing it down while also corroding its defenses at the same time. Lu Weiyin's killer move showed effect. Yellowish-brown dust started to appear below Bu Tiankong. They moved around and gradually sealed it. Get lost! Get lost! Bu Tiankong shouted, using killer moves in a frenzy, trying to sweep away all of the rain and dust surrounding it. But the rain and dust gathered together increasingly, eventually sealing it entirely. And a lump of soil that trapped Bu Tiankong fell from the sky. After landing on the ground, it turned into a huge soil mountain. Just stay put here. Lu Weiyin immediately flew towards thieving heaven's space. No, I won't give in. These things cannot hold me down. Roar! Bu Tiankong shouted, its voice resounding like thunder as it reverberated in the battlefield. With a loud sound, the mountain was shattered, dust clouds emerged. From within the broken rocks, it flew out again. What? Lu Weiyin was stunned. Bu Tiankong's performance was out of his expectation. How could it escape so quickly? Bu Tiankong resisted the tribulations while flying to catch up to Lu Weiyin. Boom! The two exchanged killer moves again, while Lu Weiyin was held back this time. This monkey's killer moves are getting stronger, so that's it. Lu Weiyin understood at this moment. The tribulations were aiding Bu Tiankong all along. As long as it was not killed, it would continue to undergo tribulations and gain more down marks. That was why Bu Tiankong got increasingly stronger as it fought. I want this heaven to no longer shroud my vision. Bu Tiankong shouted as it used a move that shot out a rainbow, sweeping away the dark clouds of the surrounding 500 li. I want this earth to no longer bury my heart. Bu Tiankong shouted as it stomped on the ground. Mountains collapsed as Lu Weiyin, who had his defensive method broken through. Washed and surprised, Bu Tiankong was already in a state of insanity. It found Fang Yuan, who was not far away. It abandoned Lu Weiyin and went for Fang Yuan instead. Be careful, Lu Weiyin quickly advised. This monkey is not simple. Fang Yuan did not turn around. It was as if he heard nothing. He only looked at the subspace in front of him. Bu Tiankong moved rapidly and seemingly teleported behind Fang Yuan. I want all life to understand my intention. I want this sage to perish with the wind. Bu Tiankong shouted, activating the strongest killer move it had used in its life. Winds, clouds, and thunder roared. The world changed colors at this moment. Fang Yuan turned around slightly, waving his hand lightly towards the back. The next moment, Bu Tiankong fell like a comet, crossing the entire battlefield and slamming into several mountains. After a chain of loud explosions, it created a huge gorge of several kilometers on the ground. Finally, it lay on the ground. Its eyes were wide open, but it did not move at all. It was dead. The unceasing chaotic battles and heated battlefields turned silent at this moment. Feng, who was unstoppable and killing everything in its path, froze in its reddish-brown demonic wind state. Fang Yuan cast his glance upon it. Feng shuddered immediately. At the next moment, endless fear filled its mind and body. I will die. I will die. I am going to die. It went out of its demonized state, immediately gaining clarity. Escape. It quickly flew away, ignoring its opponent, Xiao Hejian. Xiao Hejian was heavily injured and was on the verge of death. He had no way to fight back. With just one attack, he would die. He stared with a dumbfounded look as Feng Feng escaped from the battlefield in a crazed state. Fang Yuan turned around again, looking at thieving heaven's true inheritance space with a calm expression. He turned to look at Heavenly Court's army. Divine Emperor City and Demon Judgment Board were arriving. Soon he looked at the other side. Longevity Heaven's Calamity Luck altar shined with a golden aurora. It was arriving too. A cold and ruthless light flashed in Fang Yuan's eyes for a moment. He turned into a white ray of light as he entered thieving Heaven's true inheritance space. Charge, we will fight inside. Fairy Yushio immediately ordered. Once Heavenly Court's immortal goo houses arrived, they also entered thieving Heaven's true inheritance space. They could not use their full strength outside. If they went past the limit, they would face limitless demon venerable's retaliative method. At the same time, it was easier to destroy thieving Heaven's true inheritance space from the inside. Fang Yuan's vision changed rapidly. When he regained his sight, he was already in this true inheritance space. Every true inheritance space that thieving Heaven left behind could be considered an artificial, secluded domain. This was a strange space. It had warm lights but no mountains, rivers, wind, or land. It was completely empty. But there were some peculiarities in here. There were black lines that extended everywhere, covering every inch of the space. These lines were either thick or thin. They all gave off a terrifying aura that Fang Yuan felt fearful towards. The same time, he felt familiarity in this aura. He quickly thought of the mysterious black fire in the Blue Dragon Whale's Grotto Heaven. Even though Fang Yuan did not know what happened 300,000 years ago, after seeing this, he realized immediately. It seems that this true inheritance space is going to collapse soon. I need to quickly comprehend the mysteries here and decipher where the true inheritance really is. The last time he entered a true inheritance space of thieving Heaven, he obtained ghostly concealment. That time, Fang Yuan went in through open-door goo and closed-door goo. At that time, the true inheritance space was very stable. It had many winds of assimilation tornadoes inside. Only an otherworldly demon could dispel the wind by touching them. Because of that, Fang Yuan accidentally saved Feng Jiugu. After all the tornadoes had vanished, Fang Yuan successfully obtained ghostly concealment. It was a smooth process, but this space was different. There were no tornadoes at all. If thieving Heaven's true inheritance really existed here, it would be hidden deeply and would require deductions. But Fang Yuan was not rushing to make deductions. He took out a formation from his immortal aperture and placed it within this space. It was the 5 regional limit formation. The 5 regional limit formation activated. 5 colored smoke spewed out. In a few breaths of time, 5 colored smoke spread out in the surrounding 10 li. It was so dense that one could not see their own fingers. After Heavenly Court's troops entered thieving Heaven space, they went inside the 5 colored smoke and immediately felt suppressed. These are the 5 regions' regional walls. Chapter 2174. I became handsome. I became stronger. Why are the 5 regional walls mixed together in here? Is this an arrangement of thieving Heaven's true inheritance space? No, this is Fang Yuan's 5 restriction profound light qi. He had modified it. It is as if the 5 regional walls are replicated. Fairy Yushio quickly deduced. Fang Yuan's 5 restriction profound light qi and 5 regional limit formation were exposed during the Fate War. With these clues, it was not an issue for a wisdom path great expert like Fairy Yushio to deduce. Boom! Fang Yuan suddenly appeared, his killer move landing on Demon Judgment Board. Demon Judgment Board was instantly swept away deep into the dense fog. We cannot fight here. Fang Yuan has the sovereign immortal body. He is unrestricted. Gu Yu Fangzheng shouted. Originally, the 5 regional walls had disappeared completely. To think that Fang Yuan would reproduce them, it seems that he has been preparing for this battle for a long time. Fairy Ming Hao gritted her teeth before ordering. Find the 5 regional limit formation and destroy it. Southern restriction purple-black miasma light qi, central restriction white-gold saint light qi, northern restriction jade licorice light qi, western restriction red raging flame light qi, and eastern restriction blue water light qi. They were all different now, having been elevated to a whole new level. They were already on par with the 5 regional walls that existed in the past. Back then, when Tao Zhu researched on the 5 regional walls, he created the methods of 5 regional limit formation and 5 restriction profound light qi. Fang Yuan used the foundation of his life's research and made a breakthrough. He reached a height that Tao Zhu had never seen in his life. Fang Yuan had the sovereign immortal body. He was completely unaffected in the 5 regional walls. Other Gu immortals, however, were restricted by the regional walls. No matter what Gu worms they used, they would have to face a backlash. With this difference, Fang Yuan's advantage was too huge. Heavenly Court did not want to see this situation in the past. They would not be affected by central restriction white gold saint light qi, but now was different. With the merging of the 5 regions and the rampage of qi tides, the entire world's aura has been unified. Gu immortals were no longer differentiated by regions, and this new combined aura of the 5 regions was not any of the previous 5 regional qi. Thus, no matter which region the Gu immortal came from, they would be suppressed within this 5 restriction profound light qi. Boom, boom, boom. Fang Yuan dealt a heavy blow to Divine Emperor City, causing this huge city's green surface layer of light to shake and tremble. But Divine Emperor City was too huge. Even Fang Yuan could not destroy it for now. From Divine Emperor City, a female immortal flew out. She was a young lady with a beautiful appearance. It was Fairy Yuxiu. She surged with battle intent as she went to Fang Yuan. Guyu Fang Yuan, do you dare to fight me? At this time, another immortal Gu house arrived in Thieving Heaven's true inheritance space that it was Longevity Heaven's Calamity Luck altar. Bing Sichuan's voice resounded from within. Fang Yuan, why don't we join hands and dismantle this Divine Emperor City first? Fang Yuan smiled lightly and replied, no. Currently, Demon Judgment Board has been thrown into the 5 regional walls, while Divine Emperor City is too big and hard to send flying. Your side will stall Divine Emperor City while I will go and destroy Demon Judgment Board. Fang Yuan. Bing Sichuan wanted to urge him, but Fang Yuan turned around and went into the 5-colored smoke without hesitation. Ignore him. Our target is Divine Emperor City. Within Calamity Luck Altar, Immortal Zombie Giant Sun sat at the main seat as he ordered. Yes, Master. Bing Sichuan immediately moved Calamity Luck Altar, which crashed towards Divine Emperor City like a comet. Fairy Yuxiu gritted her teeth. She had to defend it. Lua Yin also arrived at this moment. Lord Fang Yuan. He only managed to see Fang Yuan's figure disappearing into the 5-colored smoke. Sigh. Lu Weiyin sighed deeply. He did not dare to enter the 5-colored smoke deeply. He had to communicate with Bing Sichuan and attack Divine Emperor City instead. The 5 regional limit formation continued to function as 5-colored smoke poured out endlessly. Within the dense smoke, Demon Judgment Board charged everywhere, trying to find the location of the formation. Outside the dense smoke, Divine Emperor City and Calamity Luck Altar fought intensely. Found it. Inside Demon Judgment Board, Fairy Ming Hao's eyes suddenly opened. She was a pseudo-venerable level wisdom path great expert. Her full strength was nothing short of extraordinary, but this deduction also dealt heavy damage to her. After all, she was using wisdom path killer moves in the 5 regional walls. Good. If we destroy this formation, we will be ruining one of Fang Yuan's trump cards. Guyu Fangzheng flew with great morale, charging with Demon Judgment Board. The 5-colored smoke became denser as Demon Judgment Board's luster became dimmer. Guyu Fangzheng was sustaining a huge backlash. His face soon turned pale as blood oozed out of his mouth. Boom, boom, boom. Fang Yuan found them and used killer moves continuously with terrifying strength. Demon Judgment Board was facing greater difficulty in defending itself. It moved precariously ahead. Ignore him. Destroy the formation. Fairy Ming Hao's childlike appearance was filled with boldness and determination. Demon Judgment Board paused for a moment before shooting out a blood-red beam of light. The blood-red light was thick and powerful. It landed on the formation with an extremely fast speed. The surface of the 5 regional limit formation radiated with 5 colored lights. It shook slightly, but did not collapse. How can this be? Within Demon Judgment Board, Fang Zheng was very shocked. He was clear of this move's power. Even within the 5 regional walls, it should not be this weak. Fairy Ming Hao understood the reason immediately. Her pupils shrank slightly. Fang Yuan invested a lot into this formation. It has at least 8 rank 8 immortal goo and the defense is high. We cannot destroy it in a short period of time. The 5 regional limit formation used region and limit as the cores originally, as well as a vast number of mortal goo. Afterwards, Fang Yuan added Earth Vein immortal goo, followed by Formation Spirit and Formation Flag. During the Fate War, these immortal goo were mostly rank 7, but the current Fang Yuan was different. While recuperating, he did not just modify the 5 regional limit formation again by raising its defense, he even raised all of the immortal goo in this formation to rank 8. His wealth was simply unimaginable. The full-powered attack of Demon Judgment Board could not even remove 1 layer of the 5 regional limit formation's defense. In fact, because they activated a powerful killer move, the backlash was even greater. This famous rank 8 immortal goo house was now covered in cracks. It was near the point of breaking apart. What should we do now? Fang Zheng could not help but be flustered internally. Fang Yuan was attacking outside and giving him huge pressure. Their goal of trying to destroy the 5 regional limit formation was also impossible now. I advise that we retreat. Fang Zheng gritted his teeth, suggesting to Fairy Ming Hao. Fairy Ming Hao nodded. Fighting here is too unfavorable. But it is fine. Destroying this formation was only one attempt. Even if we fail, there is no consequence on the eventual outcome. Let's go. Fairy Ming Hao left Demon Judgment Board and opened her Immortal Aperture's entrance, storing this immortal goo house. Next, in front of Fang Yuan's surprised gaze, she vanished on the spot. Soon, Lu Weiyin, who was fighting outside, transmitted to Fang Yuan that Fairy Ming Hao had suddenly appeared beside Fairy Yuxiu. He also asked about the situation on Fang Yuan's end. The 2 pseudo-venerables Ming Hao and Yuxiu are able to teleport to each other instantly. Fang Yuan guessed. Fairy Ming Hao did not succeed in destroying his 5 regional limit formation, while Fang Yuan also failed to destroy Demon Judgment Board. In essence, this was a draw. Fang Yuan might have a slight upper hand, but the situation was still stuck in a deadlock. As long as the 5 regional limit formation is still functioning, 5-colored smoke will continue to spread and fill the entire true inheritance space. But this will take too long. Neither Heavenly Court nor Longevity Heaven will want to stay in here until then. Fang Yuan pondered rapidly. The 5 regional limit formation was not a battlefield killer move. It could not restrain people. They could enter and exit freely. It would take too long for the 5-colored smoke to fill Thieving Heaven's true inheritance space. During this period of time, Thieving Heaven's true inheritance might be discovered by someone, or the space might collapse because of the intense fights. Fang Yuan flew out rapidly. Leaving the 5-colored smoke, he went to the battlefield. Of Divine Emperor City and Calamity Luck altered on one hand, he was wary of Heavenly Court's deduction ability. Similar to his refinement path attainment, Heavenly Court's wisdom path attainment was a huge advantage for them. Fang Yuan had to restrain them from having the time to deduce the true inheritance's location. On the other hand, Fang Yuan had to join the battle and make deductions in his mind as well. Divine Emperor City floated in the sky while spreading green light. It was grand and imposing, remaining unmovable. Calamity Luck Altar was like a golden comet. Bing Sai Chuan manipulated it to its limit. It flew around Divine Emperor City continuously, launching all sorts of attacks. Between the 2 immortal goo houses, for pseudo-venerables, Fang Yuan, Lu Weiyin, Ming Hao, and Yuxiu were fighting. The 2 sides were first evenly matched, but soon, Fang Yuan and Lu Weiyin fell into a disadvantage. Fairy Ming Hao and Fairy Yuxiu were very powerful. They each had a mature combat system. Fairy Ming Hao's flying stars seemed like a singular move, but they were all consecutive moves. By repeatedly hitting the same target, Fang Yuan would have to endure increasing damage each time. Fairy Yuxiu's methods were also very profound. She used her attainment level to suppress others. It was hard for ordinary Gu immortals to find a countermeasure. Lu Weiyin fell into a tough battle due to Fairy Yuxiu's focus on him, while Fang Yuan also had a taste of the power of Fairy Ming Hao's Pride Gu. Thoughts collided in Fang Yuan's mind with great issues. Many powerful and complex killer moves could not be used. The risks were too great. and most importantly, Ming Hao and Yu Xiu had incredibly well-coordinated cooperation. Their coordination was extraordinary. Fang Yuan had never seen anything like it before. Because of this, while Fang Yuan and Lu Weiyin worked together, they were suppressed by the two fairies. The cooperation of Yu Xiu and Ming Hao has produced a qualitative change. If I fought alone, I would have lost already. Lu Weiyin had a solemn mood. The opponents were working together impeccably. Their cooperation was simply not humanly possible. They gave off a natural feeling, as if it was only reasonable for them to work together this perfectly. While Ming Hao and Yu Xiu fought against Fang Yuan and Lu Weiyin, they even had time to help Divine Emperor City resist Calamity Luck Altar. Fang Yuan, you want thieving heaven's true inheritance? Fairy Yu Xiu smiled. Then you need to know that Giant Sun Immortal Venerable had once been here and damaged thieving heaven's true inheritance space. He took out a portion of the true inheritance by force. Thankfully, you are allies. You can ask for it. Fairy Yu Xiu easily tried to sow discord. Fang Yuan snorted coldly as he said to Lu Weiyin, "Go deal with Divine Emperor City. I will handle these two." Lord Fang Yuan, without me, if you fight alone. Lu Weiyin was hesitant. Fang Yuan looked at him coldly. "Leave. You are hindering me." Lu Weiyin gritted his teeth as he flew away from Fang Yuan. Seeing this change, Fairy Ming Hao and Yu Xiu saw the weakness in their enemies. They looked at each other before launching rapid attacks at Fang Yuan together. Fang Yuan opened his Immortal Aperture's entrance and let out a young Gu Immortal. Rank 8 Transformation Path, Gu Immortal Zhan Bu. Immortal Killer Move. Incomplete Freedom Transformation. The young man shouted as a blood-red cape appeared on his back, fluttering with the wind. I became handsome. I became stronger. Zhan Bu clenched his fist, staring at the two female immortals with a shining gaze filled with surging fighting spirit. Chapter 2175. Giant Sun Takes Action. Chapter 2175. Giant Sun takes action in thieving heaven's true inheritance space. The battle between two immortal Gu houses had been ongoing for some time. It was very intense. Come fight. Zhan Bu shouted as he descended like a ferocious dragon, charging towards the two heavenly court pseudo-venerables. Yu Xiu and Ming Hao. Yu Xiu and Ming Hao split up at once, retreating at the same time as they created a long distance. Zhan Bu missed his target again. He snorted coldly with some anger internally. He was one of Fang Yuan's clones. He cultivated Transformation Path and rose to rank 8. He had his own totem killer moves, but his own battle strength was still far from the peak of rank 8. He was not the match of experts like Qin Ding Ling or Wu Yong, but once he used the killer move Incomplete Freedom Transformation, he would instantly reach pseudo-venerable battle strength. Incomplete Freedom Transformation was not simple at all. It was extraordinary. This transformation was made up of 3 moves. Internal Breathing Green Fish Transformation, Devouring Blue Leopard Transformation, and Thunder Rush Yellow Bird Transformation. After Zhan Bu used Incomplete Freedom Transformation, he gained the advantages of all 3 killer moves without any of their drawbacks. He could move like lightning, shoot out lightning bolts, possess immense recovery and regeneration, and also the ability to devour all attacks. Even though he was human, each action held divine strength that could intimidate demons or deities. He could directly suppress all immemorial desolate beasts or plants. He was basically a moving calamity that could fight heaven and earth, dominating all that were in his way. Even Ming Hao and Yu Xiu did not dare to fight Zhan Bu head-on. They engaged with him from a distance. However, when their various killer moves got close to Zhan Bu, they would either be devoured or endured forcefully. Before his regeneration took place and healed his body completely, after a few rounds of combat, Ming Hao and Yu Xiu lost their enthusiasm to fight against Zhan Bu. The enemy was too resilient, but also very fast. Thankfully, he lacked in the wisdom path aspect, while Yu Xiu and Ming Hao were experts in this. Thus, they started to use wisdom path killer moves to weaken Zhan Bu, while deducing and preempting many of his attacks to dodge them. It was very wise that Fang Yuan gave Incomplete Freedom Transformation to Zhan Bu. He was a pseudo-venerable in the first place. Using Incomplete Freedom Transformation was quite wasteful. Giving it to Zhan Bu would produce another pseudo-venerable instantly. Once Zhan Budu took action, the situation changed. Fang Yuan and Zhan Budu worked together to deal with Ming Hao and Yu Xiao. They regained their footing as Heavenly Court lost the initiative. They went into a deadlock again. Zhan Budu frowned deeply. These two are extremely slippery and utilize their advantages well. I am unable to use my expertise against them, and their cooperation is simply too fluid. Even though the main body and I have the closest of relationships, we are still not as well coordinated as them. It is likely because they are both wisdom path great experts. Rumble. While moving around, both sides launched killer moves again, causing a beautiful display of fireworks to occur. The firepower was getting more intense. Fang Yuan's main body was still showing a cold expression. Ming Hao and Yu Xiao were also secretly scheming. From the start, Fang Yuan has not been using his full strength. He is making deductions while fighting. He wants to deduce the location of thieving heaven's true inheritance. Fairy Yu Xiao was very clear of her enemy's actions. Fairy Ming Hao gritted her teeth. He also has the Qi Si clone. That is another pseudo-venerable battle strength. If he is let out, this will get more troublesome. If we work together, we can resist the three of them for now. But this crafty Fang Yuan will definitely use the numbers to his advantage. He will ignore us and focus on Divine Emperor City. Heavenly Court actually knew about Qi Si ancestors' true identity. As it turned out, Qin Dingling knew this secret some time ago, but she did not expose him at that time. During the pursuit battle against Fang Yuan, Heavenly Court did not know. But afterwards, Qin Dingling learned about the truth from Heavenly Court Grotto Heaven. After all, the Qi Si clone was created in Heavenly Court. Heavenly Court's Qi harvest fruit was used in the process. Heavenly Court had existed for millions of years. It naturally had ways to find out, precisely because of that. When the Qi Si clone used the name of the Righteous Qi Alliance and invited Heavenly Court to send Gu immortals against Fang Yuan, Qin Dingling did not give an affirmative response. Fairy Yu Xiao transmitted. Qin Dingling is a passable leader of Heavenly Court. When Heavenly Court lacked a pseudo-venerable battle strength, she controlled herself and caused Fang Yuan to be misled into thinking that the Qi Si clone was not be exposed, thus not using him now. Right now, we are benefiting from that. Fairy Ming Hao nodded secretly. We can't kill Fang Yuan here, but we cannot let him obtain the thieving heaven true inheritance here. We need to try and destroy this true inheritance space from the inside. The battle intensified, but the strange thing was that neither side truly treated the opponent as their opponent. Fang Yuan was doing his best to make deductions. He was not using his full strength in battle. Zhan Budu was sent out to restrain the two Heavenly Court pseudo-venerables as well. After all, he could cooperate better with his clone compared to Lu Weiyin. Meanwhile, Heavenly Court focused on destroying thieving heaven's true inheritance, AS for longevity heaven. Calamity Luck Altar had been finding trouble with Divine Emperor City. All sorts of killer moves were unleashed without restraint, not caring about this true inheritance space. Evidently, regardless of what immortal zombie giant son was after, he still had the intention to destroy this space, so Fang Yuan could not gain anything. Even though longevity heaven was allied with Fang Yuan, they were only doing so out of pressure from Heavenly Court. They did not want to see Fang Yuan get any more help, especially when this help came from thieving heaven. Divine Emperor City's green light continued to shine densely, defending it from any attacks no matter how fierce or intense they were. Divine Emperor City was not only defending itself, it also had offenses. Immortal Killer Move, Divine Bean Soldier, Yellow Bean Soldiers charged ahead. Green Bean Soldiers shot out arrows like rain. Red Bean Soldiers self-detonated. Black Bean Soldiers defended at the center. There were also blue and white bean soldiers mixed among them, having their own tasks. Each time Lu Weiyin attacked Divine Emperor City, he would face the encirclement of these divine bean soldiers. Lu Weiyin used his offensive killer moves and caused great losses to these divine bean soldiers. Less than 10% of them survived. This result shocked Lu Weiyin, despite him being specialized in defense. His offensive methods were also at the peak of rank 8. To think that he could not completely eliminate these divine bean soldiers. The reason was because of Divine Emperor City's other move, Graft Wood. This move could allow the divine bean soldiers to be connected together and share the damage they suffered. The bulk of the damage went to Divine Emperor City, while the divine being soldiers bore the rest of the burden. Thus, these divine being soldiers were very hard to kill in battle. After Lu Weiyin spent a long time to break out of the encirclement, when he approached Divine Emperor's city, countless lightning bolts shot towards him. It was a mortal killer move. Myriad life spring lightning. Countless sparks that resembled dragons or snakes, as well as jade-green lightning balls that exploded. After they exploded, the remaining wood path Dao marks would remain in the area and modify this battlefield. Gradually. Thankfully, this was Thieving Heaven's true inheritance space and not the 5 regions. Thus this move's power could not be fully displayed. After Lu Weiyin endured the lightning bolts and got closer, the jade lights around Divine Emperor City started to turn into spirals as they shot out painting path killer moves. These painting figures had countless forms, like flowers, birds, fishes, or insects. They were extremely varied and gave Lu Weiyin a huge problem. Painting path is very unique. My attacks cannot get rid of them. I can't conceal myself with my defensive methods either. This is a problem. Painting path was kept as a secret by Genesis Lotus Immortal Venerable. This was Lu Weiyin's first encounter with it. There was no helping it. He felt he was without options that Lu Weiyin was unable to break Divine Emperor City's defense. Calamity Luck Altar was similar. Calamity Luck Altar was a rank 8 luck path Immortal Gu House. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable created it personally. It displayed great might during the Fate War, but right now, it could not do anything to Divine Emperor City. The reason was that Divine Emperor City shot out rays of white light from time to time. Calamity Luck Altar had to dodge them each time without being careless. This was Human Path Killer move. Broken Homes and Dead Family. This move countered Immortal Gu Houses. During the Fate War, Immortal Gu House Chicken Dog Coop was only grazed by it, and the entire Immortal Gu House broke apart, without a single Gu Immortal inside surviving. This was the Human Path Offensive Killer move that Star Constellation Immortal Venerable created. Calamity Luck Altar was restrained by it once. Calamity Luck Altar could only guard the surroundings. This structure with 3 floors of round altars and multiple pillars holding it up, having white jade railings and shining aurora, was acting like an irritating fly that was moving around a person. However, it was also not strange. Calamity Luck Altar displayed great might earlier when fighting against Gu Immortals. The truth was, its most valuable method was the killer move Calamity Luck Revolution. This move could turn all sorts of calamities and tribulations into becoming harmless to the immortal aperture, instead nourishing it accordingly. Longevity Heaven relied on Calamity Luck Altar to survive countless tribulations and grow over time. That was the use of Calamity Luck Altar. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable left it in Longevity Heaven before dying for this reason as well. Divine Emperor City, Painting World, Fang Dichang, and Xinshang worked together to comprehend the mysteries within. There is a huge disturbance in the outside world. It is likely a huge battle. Divine Emperor City possesses the methods of Divine Being Palace and Emperor City. Now that these methods are used so frequently, it shows that the ones attacking Divine Emperor City are not weaklings. Xinshang said. This was a good thing for them. The more these methods were used, the more they could observe and comprehend the wood path, painting path, and human path profundities within. Is it my main body attacking Divine Emperor City now? Fang Dichang guessed. Or maybe someone is trying to save the existences within Growling Beast Painting World and Qi Howling Painting World. Right at this time, Xinshang's and Fang Dichang's expressions changed. They stood up in shock as their gazes pierced through the room, towards the painting world skied, eye in the sky. Golden aurora gathered into 2 giant hands. These 2 hands shrouded heaven and earth. They were unimaginably big. The left hand grabbed Qi Howling Painting World, while the right hand grabbed Growling Beast Painting World. Genesis Lotus will growled loudly. The power of Painting Path burst out to suppress the 2 giant hands. Within Thieving Heaven's true inheritance space, the battle was at the final critical moment. The entirety of Thieving Heaven's space was covered in black lines, at the brink of destruction. Jean Boudou gritted his teeth. He felt anxious internally. The main body has not deduced the true location yet. He might not make it in time. The time is now. Within Calamity Luck Altar, Immortal zombie giant Sun took a look at Fang Yuan before taking a step out. The next moment, he appeared on the battlefield.